I guess we're at questions already. That was quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to go around with?
Yeah, you want to hold on to that so that you
Sure.
can answer the questions. I'll help direct questions.
Sure.
So just please repeat the question because the rest
Okay.
will be.
Yeah.
The gentleman here first.
I'll ask, I'm currently saying Bill and Betty, I know I have a wheelchair, but is there any other diseases you have?
Yes, so they do have they probably have some other conditions, so we can get that information for you guys. He asked about Bill and Betty, if they have any other diseases or conditions, and we will be able to provide you with a little synopsis of that.
So one of the things that's going to happen is, as the term goes on, questions you may have, we'll create a discussion group on Avenue 4. We can put the questions up and the TAs will put those together and send them to Janine, and you'll hear back usually within a couple of days. Next question. Who else here? Over there.
Can you expand a little bit on how the existing laundry system works? Is it like, do they pick up laundry and just do it for them, or?
Sure, yeah, so the majority of the residents do have we do have a laundry system. Typically the staff will package up the laundry in laundry bags, and the laundry company will come and take it away and clean it and return it. And it's really out of the hands of the resident. But we do have some laundry machines on site that some of our residents choose to use, or some of their family members choose to use. And so those are the ones that Bill and Betty would be using. Yeah.
Here and then there.
How do they feel?
So are they top loading or front loading machines? They are top loading machines. Yeah.
Would it be acceptable if we wanted to visit a residential care home to see the patients for ourselves and to, my mistake, not patient residents, or to look at facilities that are available like laundry machines or such?
Yes, so that's a good question. Will there be an opportunity to visit the site, to see the laundry machines, to see the facility? And so I can tell you that your TAs have all been there. So there will be some videos made available for you related to the challenges and the problems. And then there will be an opportunity, I think later in term, to have a small number of students come to meet the residents and to ask some questions, maybe take measurements or whatever it is you guys are needing at that time of your project.
So, unfortunately, 1,100 of you descending on St. Peter's is not the practical. So I'm hoping we can arrange something with the agreement of St. Peter's and Janine that we could take at least one person from each of the 30 tutorials, maybe for 2 or 3 visits, something like that, in the next few weeks. So at least there's one person in your tutorial room that's been there. Yes, sir.
Does the number of people sitting at the table change every year?
So that's a good question. Does the number of people sitting at the table change every day? Yes and no. Typically we have a table assignment. People are very particular about who they sit with, and we try to keep people sitting with the same people every day. Some tables, though, there's one resident sitting alone. Some tables have 2, some have 3 or 4, and it could depend on a number of reasons. It could be preference, it could be level of assistance they need with eating, and it could be personality related. So it depends.
So what is the maximum number of people that can be seated at one table?
The maximum number of people that can be seated at one table, I would say, is 4. Yeah.
More questions? Yes, sir.
What's the maximum capacity of residents you can hold at St. Peter's?
210 residents. We have 210 resident rooms at St. Peter's.
Yeah, for the tables, like how much weight do they need to hold? Do people lean on that, or do they just put their heel on?
That might be a question for you to figure out in the project.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good question, though.
Yeah, that is a good
Very
question.
good question.
Any other
questions? Back there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So, sorry, what's Jamie's specific issue again? It was mentioned, I didn't get that.
I said myotonic something or other. I have to look. Sorry, what was it? Myotonic disorder, that's what it is. Thank you. Good note takers.
So, continuing with Jamie, I know you said he had problems with some certain areas that weren't as accessible for him specifically because of his wheelchair.
Yes.
Would you be able to, like, without giving all the way, sort of outline more of what his problem, like what challenges he faces on a daily basis are?
Yeah, so so one of the challenges, and I think it's probably one you guys are going to be focusing on, are doors. Doors that don't have the automatic openers.
So I think one of the things you'll find that the problems right now are pretty, in your mind, pretty vague still, right? That it's, and part of your job will be actually to resolve those into more specific understanding of what the problems are. That can be related to designs that will address those issues.
Going back to Jamie, are his problems with accessibilities just strictly for the residents, or is it just all over the area?
So if you think about it, so we're a long-term care home, so we try really hard to be accessible. So the majority of our home is accessible, but we do have some areas that might not be. But I'm thinking if you think kind of bigger, there are probably areas that are not accessible everywhere that he would likely go that are outside of the residence, right?
So when the residents leave St. Peter's, what kind of places do they go to?
So we've had some residents go to more independent settings like retirement homes. We've had some residents who go to hospital. Most often, like you mean to leave to go, day trips, I'm sorry. Okay, so when they leave the residence, they could go anywhere. It depends on the resident and what they're able to do. So we have, they go to, I think we have residents down at Super Crawl, like on the weekend. We have residents who go to like all the big city events, Tiger Cats games, the mall, restaurants, the Mandarin, they love the Mandarin. Anywhere you would want to go, they probably would want to go to, but sometimes they may not be able to go. Yeah. Sorry, I'll leave.
When residents wish to leave the care home, would they need to have a worker escort them, or would they leave by themselves, or how does that work?
So the question was, when the residents leave the home, do they need to have somebody with them, or can they go by themselves? So that's determined on resident need. Okay, so if the resident is cognitively well enough to go and be safe to do what they're going to do, and is physically able to manage and negotiate that, then they can go independently. Yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
How does the food service work? Is it like a buffet style, or is it like delivered? Do they pick it up themselves?
Oh, that's a good question. How's the food service work? Is it a buffet or does it deliver? So in long-term care, every meal, each resident is offered 2 choices. There's 2 meal choices. And so what the staff do is they go around with a plate of each of the meal options, unless we do have one unit where we're trialing this with pictures on iPads, so that's kind of cool. But you go around with 2 options and you ask the resident, would you like the chicken and the rice, or would you like the fish and beans, or whatever the 2 options are. And then there's a servery kitchen in the dining room area. It would be portioned for them on a plate and then delivered to the table. That was a big long answer, but probably could have been shorter.
Do Bill and Betty's accessibility issues stem more from their wheelchairs or from their respective conditions?
So do Bill and Betty's accessibility issues stem from the wheelchairs or their conditions? That's a good question. I would say it could be both that impact it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have mostly door handles or door knobs? Or both?
Do we have door handles or door knobs or both? We have all kinds of different things. I don't think we have we don't have round doorknobs, but we have handles that would be like a lever, and then we have some that are like a,
That might be something that later we could ask for some photos or something.
Yeah.
But it's commercial grade
Yes.
hardware, so
Yes.
what you see probably even around the university is probably similar to what you're going to see at the care center. Yeah.
Yes.
Same deal. Yeah.
You said patients like being independent, for example, someone can do their own laundry. Are there any patients that try to make their own food or like to make their own food, or even just to access to snacks, not full meals?
So do we have residents who like to make their own food or snacks and meals, which is interesting because one of the projects last year was finding out a solution to cut apples safely for a resident because she had great big chef knives in her room which weren't so safe. So that's funny. We don't have a lot of residents actually right now asking to cook anything. People do like to have food sometimes in their rooms, snacks, apples, or other things. But we also have to be, one of the challenges that we are having is residents like to bring in food and then share it with everybody. But then we are concerned sometimes, like, has it been maintained at appropriate temperatures? Has it been handled properly? So those are some challenges. We do have a resident kitchen, but it's mostly used supervised during recreation programs. And so those residents who like to cook would go to those types of programs where everything is sort of supervised and supported. Yeah.
So when the residents are doing their laundry, is the dryer located beside the top of the washing machine, or is it located at a greater distance?
Okay, so the question was when the residents are doing their laundry, is the washer next to the dryer?
Yeah.
And they are, they're together. Oh.
For Jamie, he will use his hands to like move things, or he won't be able to reach out like that.
So the question is about how much Jamie can really use his hands to reach and do things. And I think we'll probably get to that a little bit more later. Because there are some things that he can do and some things that he finds difficult. So he can manage a walkie-talkie and obviously his video games, but there are some things that he would find more difficult. Yeah.
Do other wheelchair-bound residents struggle with laundry, or is it just Bill and Betty?
So the question is, do other wheelchair-bound residents struggle using the laundry service, the laundry setup? To be honest, I'm not sure. I don't have a great knowledge of how many people actually use our laundry, but Bill and Betty have both verbalized that they struggle with it. And if it was different or easier, would more people use it? Potentially. I don't know. Yeah.
With Jamie, his current physical state, is that where he's going to be left off, or is he going to deteriorate over time?
So that's something you might want to look at his diagnoses when we give that to you. The question was about Jamie and his physical state, and do we expect to see decline? That's something that we can probably get some more information on. Yeah. Yeah.
Since in the pictures you provided, Jamie always had someone like with him. Does he require like 24 hours, or like whenever he's like out, does he require like assistance with another person, or is he alone?
Yeah, so the question was about Jamie, and in the pictures he was with someone, so does he need somebody with him around the clock, or is he alone sometimes? He is alone sometimes. I don't know that he leaves the building alone, but I know that he would be alone moving through the building at times, or in his room. Yeah.
Over here. Over there.
Oh.
I think that's a good on the floor, like on the first floor, like I think, or you guys have.
Okay, so asking about sort of
We have different floor levels, and are people in wheelchairs confined to a certain floor?
Okay, no, so we have residents with wheelchairs on every floor, and we have 3 floors in our building. And the residents, yeah, are wheelchairs on all of them.
Right here?
Are the tables height adjustable? To an extent, yes. Is it easy to do? No.
For Bill and Betty, can
they do their laundry together, or do they have to do separately?
So can Bill and Betty do their laundry together,
Like, for the instructions, like, would that just, okay?
or should they do it
Is
separately?
there a couple?
Well, we could just ask Bill to do Betty's laundry and then she wouldn't have to do it, right? I'm just kidding. I don't know. I have not asked them that. They do live in separate rooms on separate floors. But I don't know if they would be willing to do their laundry together. I said Bill does his laundry every 3 weeks, so I would think that he would have a lot of laundry, but I'm not sure.
Is it just the one laundry room?
Is there just the one laundry room? No, I think we have 4 laundry rooms. Yeah.
We go, sorry, right here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Where exactly are the laundry rooms located? How many laundry machines are per room?
So there's 1 washer and 1 dryer per laundry room, and they're located just adjacent to each of the home areas. Yeah, or like between 2 home areas, depending on the tour. Yeah.
Are the steps in all the laundry rooms the same?
Are the setups in all the laundry rooms the same? You know what? I'm not 100% certain of that. I'm not sure. Pretty much so. Like there's like a washer and a dryer together, and some other things in there, but yeah.
Just to your right.
Oh yeah.
Do the residents have a difficult time getting up from their bed to their wheelchair?
Do the residents have a difficult time getting from bed to their wheelchair? So that would all depend on the residents and how much support they need. Some residents in the home can do it independently, and some residents require mechanical lifts to put them into their wheelchairs. So I think Bill can probably do it with staff assisting him, but Betty would need a lift. Yeah. And Jamie would, I think Jamie can stand to get into his wheelchair. Yeah.
Approximately how big are the laundry rooms?
I'm not gonna estimate. Do you know how big the laundry rooms
So,
are?
I went there with the other IAIs and we have video, which we'll put up at some point on Avenue, so you'd be able to see all of the dimensions with relation to Bill and Betty. So.
Thank you.
For Bill and Betty, is there probably more with getting to the laundry rooms, or is it doing the laundry or reaching into the laundry?
Yeah, so that's a good question. With Bill and Betty, is it getting to the laundry room, reaching in? So I think that when you see the videos, you'll have more information about where the problems might be.
Do all residents use the same wheelchair?
Do all residents use the same wheelchair? No. No, they're all very different. Yeah.
Did Bill and Betty have like short-term memory loss?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Bill, Betty, and Jamie have short-term memory loss?
Do Bill, Betty, or Jamie have short-term memory loss? No.
Here?
Sorry?
Do you have any cognitive
Cognitive problems. So those 3 residents would not, no.
Yes, sir. Are the majority of wheelchairs height adjustable?
Are the majority of wheelchairs height adjustable? Can you change the level or the height of the wheelchair? No, not easily, no. Or probably not at all, I don't think. So,
There's one more here.
Yeah.
So for accessibility, what are some reasons that certain areas will not be accessible?
So for accessibility, what are some reasons for areas to not be accessible? So we have some areas of the facility that are not for residents to go into because it's the kitchen, it's the storage rooms, the boiler room, those types of things, and those would be locked, so they would require a code to get into. So it's some of the doorways through the back hallways, like the breezeways that would be non-accessible, I would think, because of the setup. So at the next class that I come to, my colleague Marky will be joining us, and there's a video intro for her. She's an occupational therapist, so she should be able to also help answer some of these questions. Thank you, everyone.